Welcome to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube history. This is the dynamic Sean's View Entertainment on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe with an explosive backstage update as it concerns who was behind writing and being in control of the Royal Rumble match on the WWE Network a couple of weeks ago. News on Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 31. What is going on? What is the feeling? What is the aura? Is there something to get excited and amped about? According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, as noted, Daniel Bryan will now face Roman Reigns in the main event of WWE's Fastlane pay-per-view, with the winner facing Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31 for the coveted WWE World Heavyweight title. However, the original plans for Fastlane had Roman Reigns defeating a top heel, possibly Big Show again, and Bryan being used to put Bray Wyatt over to keep him strong for The Undertaker, because that is the match rumored for WrestleMania. Regarding booking for Daniel Bryan, WWE wanted to put him into a feud with Sheamus for WrestleMania 31, but his opponent was switched to Dolph Ziggler after Bryan reportedly requested this change, and it's possible that Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan still happens. For what it's worth, people handling the actual promotion of WrestleMania 31 were still under the impression that Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar will be the main event as of this week and in the promotional material. Reigns is said to be the most heavily promoted, followed by Lesnar and John Cena. It's worth noting that WWE has not included Sting in any of the WrestleMania promotional material, and since he's all but confirmed for the event, his involvement will be a major selling point, so new material should be released soon. And if Daniel Bryan is the one that's in that main event, maybe that new material will come along with Daniel Bryan being the poster child for that. Once again, source according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter. Major news as concerns behind the Royal Rumble and the match that was just featured on the WWE Network a couple weeks ago, which had a controversial finish that Triple H talked about on Raw a couple of nights ago. Regarding criticism over this year's WWE Royal Rumble match, the producer for the match was Jamie Noble, while Joey Mercury was the assistant. Wow, I knew Joey Mercury did something backstage, but I didn't know it was to that extent. I mean, Jamie Noble, excuse me. Others involved in putting the match together were WWE Hall of Famers Pat Patterson, Road Dogg, Brian James, and Michael P.S. Hayes. Well, you would think that Pat Patterson would have a hand in that since it was his creation. It was his idea for the Royal Rumble, and ever since then, the Royal Rumble has taken on a life of its own. And for the good, for the better, and of course, for the negative, kind of like last year's Royal Rumble and this year's Royal Rumble. But the bottom line is, Roman Reigns is the man. Roman Reigns deserves to win at Fastlane, because if you have Daniel Bryan win that match, you spit in the face of legacies. You spit in the face of what the Royal Rumble means. You disrespect all the athletes that won that Royal Rumble. Now, yes, we've seen that threat before where the winner of the Royal Rumble needs to put his championship shot on the line, but the WWE needed something compelling for Fastlane. Without the Elimination Chamber happening in February no longer, the WWE had to up the ante, and I can see why they went in a different direction. I don't think it so much has to do with the way that the fans are reacting to Roman Reigns, because quite frankly, on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns received a pretty good ovation. Actually, a lot of the fans were in favor of Roman Reigns over Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan was talking about Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns had a great performance. I think he had a good showing on Monday Night Raw. That spear to the Big Show was absolutely enormous. That was probably one of the most impactful spears I have seen in the last 5 years. So Roman Reigns is slowly but surely learning the curveball and knowing, when to hit, how to hit, and what to strike. And it's a work in progress. Daniel Bryan, he's already main evented WrestleMania. He's already been there. We've already went through that. We've already seen the underdog. Yeah, you can talk about John Cena main eventing WrestleMania year after year after year after year, but at least, here's the thing. You got a point about John Cena main eventing WrestleMania, but I personally, I don't want to see Daniel Bryan. That's not what's going to sell. And Daniel Bryan just admitted in an interview that it isn't him that's over necessarily. It's the yes chant, because whether you like Bryan or not, people are still going to go along with the yes chant. So Daniel Bryan pretty much buried himself in saying that, well, it's not necessarily all about me. It's about that yes chant. And like I said, the yes chant is what gets Daniel Bryan over. But all the Daniel Bryan crybabies don't want to listen to me. Oh, Roman Reigns this, Roman Reigns that. Go get a tissue. Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania. Subscribe.